All right, Hershey's board has unanimously rejected a takeover bid by snack giant Mondelez International. Hershey shares, we see them now, surged earlier on news that Mondelez, the maker of Oreos, among other snacks, made a bid for the chocolate maker. Craig Giammona joins us now for more on this. The motivations for this on Mondelez's part were primarily geographic?
That's right. I mean, it makes sense. Mondelez, was set up with the split from Kraft to attack emerging markets, in 2012, and that really hasn't panned out exactly how they thought. There's been a lot of trouble in those markets in places like China and Brazil. So Mondelez is sort of looking now for U.S. exposure. They make something like more than 70% of their money overseas. Hershey is almost 90% selling chocolate in the U.S. So for Mondelez, this was maybe a chance to get some exposure to the U.S.
You got to tell us about Kit Kat and how it provides such a huge chunk, no pun intended, of revenue for the company.
Yeah, Kit Kat's a really big business for Hershey. They control the license to sell Kit Kat in the U.S. Nestle controls it in the rest of the world. Kit Kat is like the fourth biggest selling candy in the U.S., something like 700 million last year. So that's a really big piece of business. But the part of the deal here is that if there's a change of control, Nestle would have an opportunity to take that license back. So in the past, that's kind of complicated takeover rumors and bids when it comes to Hershey. Hershey's been mentioned as a takeover target a lot in recent months because they have not done that well.
The board saying here unanimously they're not interested in the offer. Conversations are not going to continue. They don't see them continuing here. What kind of shape is this company? And we talked a few weeks back. Wrote a piece about how they're getting into beef jerky. They're expanding out of chocolate, out of candy.
That's right.
What shape is this company in?
U.S. consumers are trying to cut down on sugar. They're trying to eat healthy. I mean, we do sometimes better or worse at that, but that's the thing, right? Sugar is not good. It's a health boogeyman, and Hershey has felt the effects of that. They make their money selling chocolate in the United States, people trying to eat less of that, and people who are eating chocolate, they're trading up for dark chocolate or premium chocolate, so they're not picking up Hershey bars or Reese's or things like that. So the company is, vulnerable to a takeover, but the big thing is that 80% of the voting rights of that company are controlled by the Hershey Trust. It's a charity nonprofit set up in 1905 by Milton Hershey. They control everything. They can say yay or nay to any deal 80%. So we didn't even get that far at this point. They're saying that the Hershey Company Board rejected it out of hand, but we don't really know where the Hershey Trust was on this.
Right, and Hershey shares up 16%. Mondelez, so even after the rejection, up 5.3%, so that indicates that investors are anticipating that this might go through anyway, or that Mondelez will find something else to buy?
Perhaps that they might find something else. I mean, it seems like this deal is dead for now. Maybe that Mondelez will keep poking around, but it's an interesting turn for Irene Rosenfeld, the CEO of Mondelez, because, again, the idea with that company, we're going after the emerging markets. Now it looks like, hey, they're looking back to the U.S., so people thought that Mondelez might be a target. When Bill Ackman got into the stock, the feeling was that he thought that 3G might want to buy them and roll it into Kraft Heinz. So maybe this is a signal that, Irene Rosenfeld, she's survived 2 activist fights in the last couple of years. Maybe this is a signal that people think she's about to get acquisitive and make a move in the U.S.